So on Wednesday, the pound came under pressure along with Keir Starmer after the release of a tranche of emails and documents shed light on the close relationships of Peter Mandelson and Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh yeah. Only West Ham's back four have made worse decisions than Starmer in the past year or so.
Quite a volatile week for the pound. Started the week okay-ish, but undermined since Wednesday.
Yeah, move started with the follow through from Trump's Fed nomination on Monday, then Starmer under pressure on Wednesday, and the Bank of England rate decision yesterday.
So Trump's nomination for the Fed chair?
Yeah, the dollar certainly liked Kevin Warsh as the nominee.
And why was that?
Well, the rumoured previous nominees were perceived to be Trump ladblocks who would do his bidding, loosen monetary policy, cut rates.
But Kevin Warsh is widely considered an inflation hawk, not likely to vote for a cut while inflation is high.
Yeah, he has been in the past, but recently he's also expressed a willingness to cut rates, linking it to a smaller balance sheet at the Fed.
And he's called for a smaller balance sheet, which is...
Well, remember QE, quantitative easing?
Central banks buy government bonds and other financial assets from banks and pension funds.
That's right. Well, reducing the central bank's balance sheet is basically QT, quantitative tightening, reversing quantitative easing, allowing bonds to mature and actively selling them in the market.
Well, if that worked, why haven't they done it before? Is Walsh a bit of an outlier in his economic views, thinking QT will help cut interest rates?
Yeah, he seems to be, but obviously Trump likes what he hears.
So, the dollar liked the nomination. Any other market reactions?
Yeah, a major one. Gold and silver's spectacular January rally came to an abrupt end. Markets believe Walsh's nomination reduces political risks. They had been fearing a less independent central bank, which had given major momentum to precious metals.
So on Wednesday, the pound came under pressure along with Keir Starmer after the release of a tranche of emails and documents shed light on the close relationships of Peter Mandelson, his choice of US ambassador, and Jeffrey Epstein. Going forward, if Starmer faced a leadership challenge, could sterling suffer further?
Oh yeah. Only West Ham's back four have made worse decisions than Starmer in the past year or so. But yes, political uncertainty, never good for your currency. Last week, you would have said he's probably got at least 3 months until Labour's performance at the local elections in May, until he would face a challenge. But you wouldn't say it's out of the question now, and it only needs 81 Labour MPs to back a challenger. And if it did happen, and financial markets didn't like his successor's monetary policies, bye-bye sterling.
Adios sterling. And yesterday, central bank decisions.
Well, the ECB, blah, blah, blah. But the old lady kept rates on hold, but only after an unexpectedly narrow 5-4 vote.
And the result of that?
Well, an already under pressure pound fell further as traders ramped up rate cut expectations.
So the vote split is a lot more dovish than expected.
Yeah, the solid dovish minority, which gives Andrew Bailey the swing vote in determining future cuts. Before yesterday, a lot of economists thought there wouldn't be a cut until June. But March or April now looks firmly on the table, especially with Bailey saying disinflation looks to be ahead of the schedule that we expected in November.
So the future looks good for mortgages, but with Starmer and rate cuts ahead, the future may not be so rosy for the pound.
Yeah, it don't look great, but remember, no matter what's happening in the UK, it's a currency pairing. Sterling against the dollar, sterling against the euro.
Yeah, who knows what Trump will do or say in the months ahead. He could weaken the dollar, and the ECB don't seem to be keen on a strong euro. But as always, take advantage of any sterling rallies.
Yeah, I think that's the way to play it for now, Ren.
So Paul, data next week?
Yeah, it's quite a busy one really, and we've got US retail sales on Tuesday, we've got a big one on Wednesday, the delayed non-farm payroll report for January, UK GDP on Thursday, Eurozone GDP on Friday, along with US inflation data.
Busy week?
Could be.